Your mama.
Kung Fu. Oh, sorry, Year Kung Fu. Yeah, Year Kung Fu. Or 1-2 Kung Fu. First released in October of 1984 in arcades in Japan. Hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, what is happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublime and magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feo Grande on YouTube, back with another episode of the Whatever We Want podcast. And I'm joined, as usual, by my co-host and running mate, the angry man over here with his arms crossed. He who bears watching, Super Jazz.
As nature it too do. You know why I'm mad?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I didn't break the flow and just stop and go backwards to say your favorite part.
Yeah, because you didn't say it, period.
Yeah, because I didn't break the flow and go back to correct the fact that I skipped over.
Why didn't you say it?
Because it would have broke the fucking flow, Jazz.
I didn't mean to say why. I didn't mean to say what. What didn't you say?
Sometimes referred to as Pete on this show.
Yes, everybody, as he said, I go by the name of Jazz, or you can call me Super Jazz, SJJT, whatever you want to have you and the like. And yes, this is the Whatever We Want podcast, as my good friend Pete so eloquently said. We do not, this is Whatever We Want podcast. We do just that. We talk about whatever we want. We do not lead this conversation. This conversation leads us. And we let these chips fall where they, let these chips fall where they Cheetos. Or should I say we let these Cheetos fall where they may. That's what I should have
said. These Cheetos fall where they may every
That's what I should have fucking said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Jazz, what's up with you? We just spent a lot
Why are you
of time,
laughing?
Because we just spent a lot of time talking off camera about various stuff.
Yeah,
and then it comes time for the show to get ready to talk. I'm like, oh yeah, the topic to start it. Okay, I got one.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, you got one. Go ahead.
I mean, I could just throw some shit out unless you really have to.
Go ahead.
Oh, you gonna fish for something too?
Yeah.
So we both fishing. Okay, cool. But I was gonna say, going off what you said real quick, yeah, everybody, now that we're recording, the one thing we try to do on Whatever We Want is not really have anything too inflammatory, not really have too many hot button issues, because there's enough of that in the fucking world. We just want to sit up here, have two best friends shooting the shit, shout out to Evan, shout out to Big Bro. We're gonna have two best friends shooting the shit, and that's what this is, so yeah. So we were off camera, we were talking about whatever, and then, we were just shooting the shit a little bit, because we also don't want everything to be super, like, recorded, and you don't have to, like, we just want to catch up. It ain't got to be like, hey, we're on camera the whole time. So we were like, you know what? We're going to just keep this off camera so we can just catch up, and now we're going to get on camera and talk about, fucking making our lips thin like we did a few episodes ago.
I have a question for you, Jazz. What was the last new anime series you watched?
New.
Like new to you?
New to me.
Yes. Like you were like, hey, this is a fresh anime that I haven't seen before?
Not just like, I mean, I don't know why I'm asking, because I think the answer is the same, whether I clarify it or not. Like, why am I trying to clarify it? What I was going to say was not new as in the newest anime, period, but new as in just new to Jazz. No.
I know it wasn't something in 2024. I'm sorry, it might be, but no, I meant just new to you. Like you hadn't seen it before. It could have been a 20-year-old series, but you hadn't seen it before, so it was new.
What I was saying was something new to me. The newest thing I could have watched new to me could have been something back in like fucking 2002. But the newest, you know what I'm saying? But the newest I could have seen before that, and that could have come out in 2018. That's why I'm at. But what I'm saying is the answer is the same, whether it's the newest to me or the newest period. And that answer is Jujutsu Kaisen. Because honestly, I don't think I have watched any new anime since we were watching Jujutsu Kaisen a few years ago. So I'm like, I'm doing all this talking and clarifying for no damn reason. So bunch of like fucking being fucking loquacious for no fucking reason.
So you know what's funny about Jujutsu Kaisen? Apparently not a lot story wise once season two hits. I've had a couple things spoiled for me, but I hadn't really watched all of season two or whatever. I haven't watched any of season two. I've watched all of season one. I watched it at the same time you did, or did I?
Right.
Who knows? Only the computer knows.
You did.
Yes, I'm aware. But how do
No, I know. I know you're aware. What the fuck? Like, I watched it, the entire series.
Well, not the entire series. Season two is already
The
gone.
entire season. Fuck you with your semantics ass.
But the manga for it apparently is ending in a couple months.
Which means that the show should be ended,
Yeah.
not after.
The show, in theory, will probably end with season three, since the manga will be over. But I say in theory because a series I tried to watch around the same time we did Jujutsu Kaisen, but didn't finish because I was trying to make a project out of it, like a more in-depth one. And once it became work, it became more, oh, I have to dedicate time to watching this as opposed to let me watch this while I eat dinner.
That's what
That
kills. Yeah.
that's what
I said that's what kills it sometimes when you try to like make this a thing, especially when you're not making money yet with it. So it's
Mhm.
not just it's not just work, but it's work without it's work and you don't see any profit, not yet. So then it's just like you know.
Yeah. But Demon Slayer, it is a series
I've
that
heard of
is
yeah.
beloved by many because of
They had
its
a movie come out, did it?
animation. Well, I'll get to, it's had a movie. Just about everything gets at least one movie these days. But yes, it has had a movie. But I'll get to that, and I'll get to more topic about movies in a second. Demon Slayer, people love it. Great animation. Also, the animation, fantastic. And don't get me started on the animation. Now, there are some other things that people talk about. There's a couple characters people like. There's a character named Rin Goku who Wade Barrett mentions on Royal Rumble one year because Selena Vega dressed as, or maybe not Royal Rumble, but some match where Selena Vega came out with an outfit themed after the character.
Selena Vega is clearly a huge anime head.
Yeah, but it's
Her outfits, yeah.
all right. I don't think you care about Demon Slayer spoilers. Like,
Well, yeah, just tell them because I
I'm
don't
just
care.
saying you don't care about Demon Slayer spoilers. Okay. So spoiler warning to everybody else. But so he's watching, he has the match going on. He's like, Selena Vega in the ring, dressed as Rin Goku from Demon Slayer, a character who dies in the show, by the way, just like Selena Vega's going to die in the ring tonight.
Well, you just spoiled it for everybody else then. The fuck?
Rin Goku, a character who dies in the show, by the way.
You just spoiled it for everybody. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What I
You know
think
there's overlap between pro wrestling and anime fans. So damn, like shit, wait. No.
which is probably why he thought it was colloquial enough because it was, or it was topical enough because it happened, I guess, recently in the anime. But it was topical enough to where he knew he could get a fucking pop out of it. Because I highly doubt that Wade Barrett of all people watches anime. I could be wrong.
You don't think so?
Look, I understand that wrestlers can be nerdy. You got your Kenny Omegas, your Austin Creeds, you know. I
Yours Selena
don't
Vegas.
really. You're Selena Vegas.
Who are wrestler Selena Vega's fine as hell and watches fucking anime. So.
Yeah. I don't see Wade Barrett as an anime watcher. This hard nosed bare knuckle boxing champion dude, I don't see as, oh yay, Demon Slayer. Now he could, and I could be wrong. I didn't see Randy Orton as a gamer, and he apparently has 600 hours in Elden Ring. My bad.
This is what I mean when I say like
Cody Rhodes is clearly a geek.
And now in 2024, I don't put it past anybody possibly watching anime on a big platform like that. Because depending on your age, some of the more old school anime people will really keep up with. But anime, just like thanks to the MCU with Marvel, doesn't have that stigma of being as nerdy as it used to be. It still got a little bit of a nerdy, but not as nerdy. Back when we were in school, anime was the nerdy shit. It's not
Yeah,
as nerdy.
but Wade Barrett's also not younger than us or our age. He's older than us.
Not by too much. He is older than not by too
Ain't he
much.
like 40 something?
40 something is old enough to maybe be into it, ain't it?
Well, I have a 60-year-old woman who watches anime with her kids at work, but I also am not surprised that she watches anime. Like maybe the anime that she watched because she seems geeky enough. She's also like an avid Star Wars fan and all of this stuff. So clearly the geek nature or the geek groundwork was there. You know what I mean?
Like,
But Wade, again, it's more not necessarily the fact that it's mainstream or nothing. And again, if he does watch it and he comes out tomorrow and he
right.
goes, I'm like, okay, my bad. I didn't know. But at the end of the day, there are certain archetypes, mainstream or not, there's still different archetypes that have less of a likely chance to be that.
I get what you mean. I do
And
get what you mean.
nothing about Wade Barrett's on-screen character, anytime that I've seen him, like Stu Bennett, if he ever has some like candid stuff where he's just like, "Oh, I'm Stu Bennett and I'm a cool dude and I'm chill. Come down to, left, left, right, right. Watch some videos." Okay, my bad. I ain't never seen him in that kind of light. I don't even think I've seen him on Up, Up, Down, Down. Like, that's what
I
I'm
get what you mean.
saying. Uh,
Because like I would say, okay, so he's 44. According to like with Wikipedia, he's 44 years old, right?
all right.
I think that and he's already had his birthday, so he's not okay. So he's 44. Uh I say people of a certain age, once you get to being like much older, then yeah, I don't expect you to give a fuck about anime because you didn't grow up in the era where anime went from being nerdy to being cool. People of a certain age, like once you hit a certain age, I'm not so surprised if you don't watch anime because you didn't grow up in the era where anime went from being nerdy to being cool. But if you're around a certain age, I'm not so surprised per se if you're an anime lover or
So,
even like.
so my older siblings are older than your older sibling.
Yeah,
That's, I mean, obvious because we met Big Bro, have been on the channel and everything. But and you and I have both said that I'm older than him. So I have an older sibling that is around or will be. No, they're about a year younger. They don't, nor did any of my cousins. Well, no, I won't say any of my cousins. I have a much older cousin that did, but he was one of those exception to the rule type motherfuckers. If you know what I mean. And I'm not meaning that in a negative context, folks. But bottom line is, I guess I'm used to people that are that
I get what you're
range
saying.
older than
I get
me.
what you're saying.
Like, but oh, you're around the same age as my older sibling. You're probably in the mindset that anime and video games is for kids.
It's dumb as fuck for kids. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially if everything I've seen of you is hard nosed, badass.
I get what you're saying.
I'm a bare knuckle boxing champ type shit that Wade Barrett is. That he got too much time in these streets punching niggas in the face to be playing video games and watching anime. He's out here getting that work in. However, I will if he does watch it, I was wrong. Again, that's what I said to begin with.
Right.
I like
I get
I
what you're saying.
but yeah. So what I was gonna say is I think it's funny because I shied away from it for a bit because I got annoyed with the fan base, but it's already out in the open. I'm a One Piece fan. Oh no. Um, one of the things I thought was funny over the 20 teens were the One Piece killers, or things I heard on Twitter, on X, or in society about these new animes that were coming out that would dethrone One Piece. Because god damn it, this old ass show needs to get the slash manga needs to get out of here. The fans are too loud praising it all the time.
How
Which
did it
yes,
suddenly?
the fans are too loud praising it all the time.
How did it suddenly go from like being as old as it is to suddenly out of nowhere everybody just jumped on and just like it just became the big thing?
People were stuck in the house with nothing to do for no particular reason in 2020, and thus they had a lot of time on their hands. And if you got a lot of time on your hands, well, people been talking about this thing with over 800 episodes. I don't see it tomorrow. Might as well start watching and see. I got nothing else to do. Let's give it a shot. Oh shit. I see what it's about. Even if I don't like it from episode one, like many apparently do. Like, it's funny because, okay, so as a One Piece fan, I have gone through lengths throughout the years trying to have to justify reading a long ass series. For the folks at home, I'm going to be completely honest with you when I say I get it. Because if I hadn't read One Piece before, if I hadn't started One Piece when I did, like if today was today, actually, I might have considered it because apparently it's a cash cow for if you want to be a reaction channel. Just start a Patreon, do a react series. This is my journey through One Piece. Congratulations. The money would come in. I know a person on YouTube. She has a thing going where 2,000 likes on this video, and I'll upload the next episode tomorrow. She's been going every day since March.
Dude, I'm looking at this is what I'm saying where everybody's talking about One Piece now, right? And it's like this anime everybody talking about has been going on forever and it's old and all that shit. I'm looking at this shit on Wikipedia. The way this shit started getting talked about a few years ago, it almost seemed like it was new a few years ago because of all the hype. This shit, it says original run July
Well, I
22nd,
could have told you that.
1977.
I could have
What?
told you that. I said it's an old ass show, and I said it
I
was
know.
okay. Yeah.
I'm just
Also,
saying,
you.
like, how?
Yeah, I was trying to. You did you miss the? Okay, so I was being kind of tongue in cheek, vague. COVID happened in
I
2020,
heard.
and people were
I was just
quarantined in their
same
houses
time
with
as
nothing to do, and thus why not give this series a chance?
it's
But
just
I
a
was saying that with how long it is now, I wouldn't start it if I had never started it because I'd go, this is too long. I'm the kind of person who in middle school, when everybody and their mama liked Harry Potter, I said, them books is too damn long. Keep them away from me.
I looked at that motherfucker in middle school and was like, fucking 1,000 pages. I'm good.
Yeah. So imagine me in 2009, like, you say that series has 400 chapters? Shit. Have they even found the goddamn Grand Line? What the fuck? Why do you guys want to read a series that's that fucking long? Read something like Naruto. Naruto, by the way, would end at 700 chapters. But this is 2009, not 2014 or 16, whenever Naruto ended. But One Piece was a series that's been going on for a long time. It was one of the big three. The big three is debated on whether or not it was an official term or fan made term. High consensus is that it's a fan made term, but it definitely refers to three specific anime from the early 2000s: the aforementioned One Piece, the aforementioned Naruto, and Bleach. Um, there was a time where Shonen Jump wasn't doing that good. Those three series popularity, zip boom straight to the moon. Also, there's a while where Shonen Jump likes to do popularity polls periodically for their manga. And if your ass is at the bottom of the popularity poll, I don't care how long you thought your series was going to be, wrap that shit up in 5 chapters. We need popular series. And there are a lot of series whose lifespans got cut short because they weren't touching the big three. Naruto would end in the 20 teens at some point. Bleach would end around the same time period. One Piece remained. One Piece still remains. But around that time, Naruto and Bleach died, folks are like, okay, yeah, everybody. So the One Piece fans got even louder because the two main competitions, if you were there, I'm a person who read all three series. If I were to rank them, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach. I'm not mad at anybody who switches One Piece and Naruto. Bleach, I'm like, come on, it's good, but over those two, are we are we honest here? But and I say this as a guy with a fucking Kenpachi from Bleach poster here. So it's not like I don't like Bleach shit. Anyway, uh yeah, I got fucking Kenpachi up there next to my fucking Dragon Ball and X-Men memorabilia. Okay, so before you Bleach fans come at me like, you don't understand Bleach for being good for what it is. I do. I just like this one more. Anyway, there were series that came out in the 20 teens that people are like, oh, this is gonna be the One Piece killer. Like it's gonna dethrone it. And this is the new big three, even. I've even heard the term new big three for these three series at one point. One of those was a series called My Hero Academia.
Heard of it.
Yeah, it just ended a month ago. And boy, when it comes to disappointing endings for a manga, that was a controversial ending for the fans of My Hero Academia. But that is a One Piece killer that has ended. Hell, one point people thought Attack on Titan, a series I'd recommend to everybody, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of its ending, it made a hell of a lot more sense than My Hero Academia's ending. It just wasn't my taste. I will say that. Like, up to like the 90% mark of that story, especially at the 90% mark, there's a point where I'm like, oh my God, this is one of the best ideas or best executed writing plans that I've seen in a series. Didn't like the ending, but that was also supposed to kill One Piece because look at the animation on the show, listen to the OST, look at the serious topic. Niggas die in this. Folks die in Attack on Titan. They don't fucking hide that. It's over. My Hero Academia, over. Demon Slayer, look at this animation. One Piece is still using the same animation since 1990. Not exactly true, but it wasn't touching Demon Slayer when Demon Slayer came out animation wise. It's touching Demon Slayer now, especially because Demon Slayer's over. But the manga is over. The anime decided, hey, the manga ended in like 2020, maybe earlier than that. Yeah, we're gonna do the last saga. We're gonna stretch that out, like the final season. We're gonna do it like the Attack on Titan did this shit too. The final season, part one. 2 years later, the final season, part two. Maybe just do the final season. Get it over with.
Speaking of Harry Potter, I had never seen, now show wise, I don't know, but I had never seen any movie franchise do that shit until Harry Potter. I forget what the very last one was, definitely Hallows or whatever the fuck, but they were the first movie franchise I saw have the last movie, part one, part two. And then because they did that, a lot of other mother people decided to do part one, part two. Like Mission Impossible, the people are speculating this might be the last one, part one, waiting on part two. You feel like that?
Okay. Well, Demon Slayer decided not only are we doing the last season, part one, part two, to excitement, there's a saga after whatever information that season's supposed to carry that they're splitting into 3 movies. They are milking the shit out of Demon Slayer.
The movie's gonna make bank.
Oh, they will.
Because the first one made like stupid money.
Because it's a series that is heavily carried, and like the plot's okay, from what I hear. The plot's okay, but let's be honest, folks. Nothing wrong with it because One Piece is definitely trying to do it now as well. The series was carried heavily by its animation. Like, that's why you watch it. It's a fucking spectacle and it is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that series' animation. I will say that. For what little I have seen of it, there's nothing wrong with it. It is a fantastic series. And like I said, the story is solid enough. It had a better ending to my knowledge than My Hero Academia. I don't know what happens at the end of Demon Slayer, but I didn't hear people bitching about it like they bitch about the ending of My Hero Academia. Boy, and I'm one of said people that bitches about the ending of My Hero Academia. So let me tell you, I get it. And a third series that I mentioned that got mixed in those talks of the new big three is Jujutsu Kaisen.
That was the big one.
It ends in a couple months as well.
It's not being as talked about as it seemed like it was when it first came out as to now.
Oh, people talked a hell of a lot about season 2 because some shit goes down. Like I've had parts of season 2 spoiled.
I'm not as locked in as you are.
I'm just saying, I've had shit from season 2 spoiled for me just because Twitter exists and people wanted to make memes. And yeah, so shit went down in season 2. Shit's probably gonna keep going down in the manga or until it's over. But the bottom line is there've been a few One Piece killers out there that died before One Piece.
That's just amazing to me that a show can go on that long. And like I say, I wonder if back in the day did I even hear about One Piece, even murmurs. But a show can go on for so long and really be kind of lukewarm in the reception, and then all of a sudden, and I know you said it's because of lockdown, but it was lukewarm for so long, and then all of a sudden it's like the fucking anime to watch. Period. Hands down. Fuck out of here. One Piece is on, and it's just like,
all right. So
to the point where I thought this shit was new a few years ago. You find out this shit been over like 20 years. It's crazy.
So another reason why it might be that kind of revelation to you is because you live here in America. And for America, while you're, people who are into that kind of stuff, some people knew about One Piece and liked it. Pretty much, I feel like, regardless of how long it takes you to fully get it, because that'll vary from person to person depending on what you like. I do think there's something in One Piece for everybody, writing wise. And I think there is a definitive point where if you make it to it, you're stuck, and this is like one of your top whatever series for a while. Even if you fall off for a bit later, like I loved it, and then it fell off, there's a point where everybody gets it. Let's just say that.
Basically, if me, because I'm open to anime, because Ibn probably would not give a shit, period, because he ain't open to anime. But because I'm open to anime, if I started watching it, gave it a chance, watched enough episodes, I'd be hooked.
I believe if you watched it enough, you would be. However, I don't know what enough would be for you.
I was just about to. I
was, and I'm not even just saying that because I know you and what
mm-hmm.
you do and don't like or whatever. It's more just as someone who's had to try to justify, who once he became a fan, understood the whole. No, please just trust me. Oh, you got to read it. It's a good series, I swear. You know what I mean? You just got to give it a chance. I know it's long. Just give it a chance. Make it to this point, and it won't do it. But I've seen people that do stuff like that, and I've seen a couple people. I mentioned aforementioned Reactor with the 2,000 likes a day or whatever, and she puts stuff out there. Like she puts her reactions to new episodes every day, so the last like 6 months. I believe she fell in love with the series from episode 1. Meanwhile, I've seen other people who have had something that personally, I don't remember the exact answer. I don't remember the exact episode, but I know it's less than 50 for the anime at least. I would always suggest reading the manga because it takes less time, but the anime is what it is.
I'm not a manga reader. That
Yeah,
is,
but yeah, the
I
anime
had
does
friends
have
in high
pacing issues. However, they're doing like a new version of it soon that's supposed to be kind of like what Dragon Ball Kai was. But unlike Dragon Ball Kai, where it was a remaster slash taking fillers out, this is we're reanimating it and taking fillers and like changing up the pace, new animation. I think there was rumored at one point possibly new voice actors because, as you mentioned, the anime started in 1990, and the lady who voices Luffy also voiced Krillin since Dragon Ball.
I believe I knew about that. Not that a woman voiced Krillin. I mean, not that they were the same people. I think I
Yeah,
did know a woman voiced Krillin. Yeah,
yeah. Well, a
yeah.
woman voiced Goku too. Granny Goku is still voicing Goku
I,
since he existed as well.
oh, you mean the original
Oh yeah,
Goku?
Japan.
Yeah. Did I know that? I think I know. I think I heard. I don't want to misquote, but I do think that a few years ago, the Spanish translation Goku passed away. I don't know. I think I might be misquoting that because I heard about somebody voicing Goku. I don't know about that. But anyway, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But the bottom and there's a character named Frankie. His voice actor, it's starting to his age is kind of from what people are saying, it's his age because his voice is starting to sound weird on recent episodes, and people are saying like, oh yeah, it's starting to show like, yeah, if we do that whole new series, we probably are gonna need younger voice actors because they're getting up there in age. These are all
So,
legends of the business, but
so
it's a 20 plus year series.
do you subscribe to sub or dub? Then which one are you?
In general, it's whatever I listen to first. I think is what I told to
That's
myself a long time ago.
that's fair.
But it definitely varies by series. I prefer the English dub of Dragon Ball. Granny Goku is a legend. You know, Granny Krillin clearly is a legend. She's also Luffy. Yes, the voice actors for the Japanese cast, they've been the same since they got their jobs. And they're all fantastic in their own right. The Japanese doesn't hurt my ears like it used to.
It
Because
used
I
to hurt
like,
you. I know you don't literally mean hurt your ears, but it used to sound weird to you.
oh yes, I like the dudes to sound like dudes. But like I said, Goku's had the same voice actor since his character was a little kid. He's had the same woman voicing him his entire life. He's like a 40-year-old man now, and he's
It is. It
which
is.
again, legendary,
Right.
fantastic. Don't come after me.
It is a huge difference between Sean Schimmel and doing Goku, who still sounds very youthful and childlike as a grown man, and then hearing the Japanese version. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Also, Bart, and it's one of those things where it's like any of the motherfuckers that look like Goku are voiced by her as well. Like Bardock has the same voice. So I'm like, he doesn't have to sound the same as Goku. He's a different person. Let him sound like an adult. You know what I mean?
A little bit
But
of devil,
oh, go ahead.
a little bit of devil's advocate. Maybe if we were native Japanese speakers, maybe it would sound different to us. Because I agree with you, but I know what you. But I'm
Oh my
saying maybe.
god. See again, I'm not insulting the lady. I'm just saying it
I
sounded
didn't say
different.
you were.
Like it's got nothing to do with data jack. Like I said, I can watch the dub. I watched all of Super
Oh,
in sub before I watched the dub, primarily because Super only was available in sub, but I still watched it the whole way through. I didn't go like I've had coworkers who are like, oh no, I'm waiting till the dub comes out. I refuse. No, I can watch the series. I got used to it, but if you're gonna ask me what I prefer, because that's what you did, I'm gonna tell you with Dragon Ball, I
if it
prefer the
came off
dub.
like I was trying to say that you were being insensitive, I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, like no, she is a legend.
In conversation.
I'm not
Yeah, I
insulting
didn't take
any
it
of
that
their
way. If it came off like I
performances.
did, my bad. I didn't
Yeah,
mean for it.
well, yeah, you're right. And you are
I didn't
Jazz.
mean
You
for
are
it to come
not
off like
everybody else. You are Jazz. You are not everybody else. You have
I didn't mean for it to come off like that
opinions.
either. Yeah, so I
I know
apologize.
that's what I'm saying. You are your own person. But Full Metal Alchemist. I'll list the series.
Alchemist.
I'll list the series that I prefer the dub of. And then I'll also mention series I prefer the sub of. I prefer the dubs of Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, Full Metal Alchemist, Cowboy Bebop,
Pokemon.
Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah. The
Although
series I prefer the sub of uh Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, though I do like over the Naruto and One Piece dubs, I do like the main character voice in Bleach. Like the main part of my main problems with English dub Naruto and One Piece is the main character. This is voice.
I haven't watched as much Naruto as you, but from what I heard, Naruto's voice doesn't sound bad. No, I'm talking about like the English voice. Oh, I haven't watched enough Naruto as you did. Huh?
I'm Uzumaki Naruto, and I'm gonna be the Hokage.
Hey, I like he sound like a fucking little, like fucking little bratty little kid. You know, he's just coming of age. That's what it sounds like to me. But you
Yeah.
like shut your bratty ass up.
Now, to be fair, it is them trying to be as matching to the Japanese thing because he's also voiced. If you're a teenager, boy or younger, you're probably going to be voiced by a female in Japan, unless there's like specific ways they want your voice to sound. But usually, the main characters are voiced by females.
No, if you're a teenage boy or younger, like in cartoons, a lot of times you're voiced by a female. Period. Timmy Turner is voiced by a female.
Mm-hmm.
Bart Simpson is voiced by a fucking female.
Yeah,
They do that shit a lot. So that's not
yeah,
just that's just period. Because as the years go by, if they got a boy to voice a boy, the boy would mature and his fucking balls would drop and he'd get a fucking deep ass voice 9 times out of 10. But if they get a grown woman, most of the time she's done maturing. So if she can change her voice
yeah.
enough, that's
No,
what you see is what you get. Yeah.
no, I
So,
understand the logic behind it. I'm just saying that that's the
oh yeah, yeah.
case with the things. Like to your
I
point,
mean, you
the
like
Full Metal Alchemist dub, where they had Full Metal Alchemist, which stayed canon to the manga to a certain point, but instead of making filler episodes and then coming back to canon, they made the decision, fuck it, anime's going with its own story for this point. And then in about 2009, 2010, Full Alchemist Brotherhood comes out and it stays canon to the manga the whole way through. Um, the English dub got the same exact voice cast, except for like maybe a couple characters. But for like all the major characters of the show, they got the same exact motherfuckers that they had the first time they dubbed it, except the younger brother of the main character. For that same reason you mentioned, he couldn't do the voice anymore because the first time they used an actual 12-year-old and he couldn't do the voice anymore. So they got a new 12-year-old who apparently is real good at mimicking the other 12-year-old's voice because you
the
could
entire
hardly
point.
tell that it was a new 12-year-old, but they got a new 12-year-old to voice him. So to your point, like I said, like I get the logic behind it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I think the methods that they use to sound more like dudes are usually more consistent, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way. I don't know. It hits the ear differently. And again, I started this by saying that it's whatever you listen to first. So maybe if I listened to Dragon Ball in sub first, I'd
That's
hate the
fair.
dub like everybody else because it's not what I'm familiar with. The Funimation dub of One Piece, a lot of the choices for the voices make sense. Luffy's voice, who unfortunately he talks the most, is such a juxtaposition if you're used to hearing the Japanese that it takes a bit to get used to. She still does a good job doing the roles, but every once in a while, when I see a clip that I have seen tons of times in the Japanese thing for a moment, but it's the English dub, it just sounds weird.
I
That's
like it.
all I'm saying. They do great jobs, especially with the Funimation dub. We don't talk about the 4Kids dub, which is another reason why USA
Get there
hated the
for it.
show.
I forget there's 4 kids. There's also sub and dub and then which dub. I forget about that, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so drag all of the big three, I prefer the Japanese version, but I'm fine with Bleach's English version. Like I can watch and I can watch either of all of them, but you're asking me what I prefer and what side of the argument I'm
Right.
on.
Nigga, fuck the big three. It's just Big Me.
That's what one person's saying now.
Ah.
It's just
Fuck all your dogs getting buried, got a cape all your nines. This is Pet Cemetery.
mm,
What was I gonna say? Uh well, for me, because like I said, I am nowhere near the anime head that you are and not versed in the shit. I'm open to watching anime and I like some. I I could watch some sub, but I much rather would watch the English dub because just this is a certain level of ignorance, possibly. But when it comes to watching anime, if because I don't watch it that much, movies and other shit, I don't watch anime that much. So when it comes to it, I much rather wouldn't want to have subtitles because I don't want to think that hard. That's but like I say, but when I watch movies with subtitles in an Asian language or otherwise, Japanese, whatever the fuck, I wouldn't give a fuck.
oh yeah.
But
I used to
anime, I would say, but anime I don't watch as much as you do. So I'm just like, if I'm going to watch an anime, let me just listen to the English people talk.
yeah. I used to be strongly when I was in high school or whatever, I was strongly anti-sub because I don't want to fucking read. I'm watching a fucking TV show. But then I got to watching shit that I had no choice but to watch with subtitles. And then I was like, and so after a while, I got used to it, which is why I'm like, it depends on what you're used to. I'm used to Monkey D. Luffy, for instance, the main character of One Piece. I'm used to that motherfucker sounding a specific way. Hell, Frankie, if you want a juxtaposition between the Japanese and English, Frankie will catch you off guard. However, an acquaintance of mine put some of the sub versus dub voice choices into perspective because it's not always about let me sound like the Japanese voice actor.
Right.
It's how do I think this character sounds in general? Because at the end of the day, they start off as an image on a page. Because I was trying to talk to somebody like about the fact that I didn't like some of the Funimation voice changes, and I was like, well, yeah, like what they did with Frankie, he's not bad, but it's not the same. He's like, what do you mean? Well, you know what he sounds like in Japanese, right? No, haven't heard it yet. You haven't? No. Well, what do you think he sounds like? I don't know. I'm Frankie. I'm super. Blah, blah. I'm like, that's closer to what the English voice actor did than what the Japanese voice actor did.
It's like what you were saying with Dragon Ball Z. Like what Sean Schimmel does doesn't sound like the original Japanese actor, but when I think of Goku, that's the voice I think of. So it just depends. But it could also be the voice I think of simply because
What you grew up
I
with.
grew up hearing Goku sound like that.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other thing too. Like, what would I have thought Goku sounded like before I heard Goku speak? That's a whole other question because I never thought, what does he sound like? Because when I first saw an image of Goku, I was hearing Goku's voice. So who's to say that too? But it does seem fitting. But that's an interesting thing that you could do though. Like pick a show that you haven't seen before or haven't heard the character speak, like a cartoon character, live action, maybe, but cartoon character for that matter, and then make up in your head what you think, anime or otherwise, make up in your head what you think the character sounds like, and then see if what they sound like, what they chose for the show is actually what the fuck they sound like. And
Mm-hmm.
that's like a whole different like thing. Like who knows, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, like for instance with Pokemon, Sarah Natachani wasn't the original voice actor for Ash Ketchum. I
Mm.
think she voiced Ash for like fucking I think over a decade and just like finally stepped down. But she wasn't the original voice actor for Ash, right? But her thing was she had for English, she had to sound like the previous English dub. And the previous English dub, I think, was doing their best to make Ash sound like what they thought Ash sounded like, and not so much the Japanese version.
Yeah.
So you got one version of Japanese, one version of English, and then the other person took over and had to sound like what you did previously. So yeah, that's a whole different ball game because I don't know stuff like Pokemon, especially because of what Pokemon meant for us millennials, and then like Yu-Gi-Oh and shit. That's those are almost like the animes that motherfuckers watched that are almost like we try to pretend like they were almost American
Oh
cartoons.
yeah, no. And yes, Yu-Gi-Oh was dubbed by 4 kids, and Pokemon for that matter were dubbed by 4 kids as well. But I think I got into them before they were. I won't say they did those series justice. I think they did monetarily, of course. They did them, but they did them more justice than One Piece did than they did One Piece. Because though it's still the same category, even in the same comic magazine as Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece is it's not exactly for kids friendly. It's a lot of blood they gotta censor. There's a
That's the thing.
character
Four kids is like makes it go from PG,
to
maybe
G
PG-13 to like G. Yeah,
or Y7 or whatever.
I was gonna say Y7.
So it's like there's a character who always has a cigarette on him and in his mouth.
They
They
changed
changed it
the
to a
color.
lollipop. There's there's other stuff like that. And if it was just the censoring, whatever, grow the fuck up. Sometimes shit gotta be censored to get it on TV. But that's not the only thing. They also fucked it up by cutting out parts of episodes that they just
Yeah, I
didn't
hate when shows do
they
that, and
didn't
I
need
know
that.
sometimes anime shit does do that, and I do not like that.
And
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, well, One Piece is known for, especially at certain arcs and times throughout its history, not having the best pacing, like lingering too long on reaction shots or stuff like that to try and pad out, whatever. It's a flaw of the series that I'm perfectly willing to admit. I'd be a fucking moron if I didn't admit it had pacing issues. Um, it also is another thing that makes it hard to recommend it to people. But so if they only cut it for pacing, whatever. But when they started skipping entire arcs, when they started taking stuff from one episode that's supposed to happen later and putting it in this episode with their hodgepodge, and they did a whole bunch of other things. There are people who have series on what 4 kids did wrong on YouTube. And that's how I learned, like, oh, it was wrong. Wait, they skipped that? That becomes a major plot point later, which is part of the appeal to One Piece is the long-term narrative, the payoffs, the hey, this was mentioned in fucking episode 4 and we're on episode 500. You mean to tell me this was all the way there the whole time and we just didn't know or we let it cross over our head? It gets recontextualized. And that's the other thing. As stuff gets revealed, and there was a major revelation sometime like within the last 2 years. And I mean like game changing major revelation.
oh, yeah, okay.
That recontextualizes everything when you see it. Because some people were like, wait a second, is this revelation an ass pull or was it actually planned? Because Oda does get a lot more credit for planning than he should. Because some shit I'm like, did that nigga foreshadow or did he later go, I should do something with this and throw it in? And people go, foreshadowing. He has also gone on record and being like, hey, these 11 characters here? Yeah, I thought them up last minute. I was gonna kill them off, and now they're all big parts of the story. Oops. So he has pulled stuff out of his ass, but said big major revelation that came out a couple of years ago. Uh when you look back, I'm convinced that even if it wasn't somehow meant to be the plan since chapter 1, you can definitely see the seeds throughout the story to where there's an argument to be made that while execution could have been done slightly more if this was his intent, the signs were there. Or he took the signs and themes and made this revelation out of it. But there's a certain point that I know, or I don't know, fucking man, but I feel super strong from this point on, at least. This is what we've been building to. Arguably earlier in the story, but definitely from here because the signs were there now that you have the new context.
But how did it happen? He took a bite of gum gum.
Yeah, that's from the Four Kids opening, which is about the only good thing about the Four Kids thing.
Hey man, I don't know what the other theme song sounds like. I don't know shit about One Piece. I know like shit about One Piece. But that theme song is fucking so stupid, but like so cool in like the fucking best way. Don't give it a movie.
Like that's the thing. Is it stupid and corny? Yes. But American cartoons are stupid and corny. Like so American youth demographic is going to respond to a certain thing. Hell, and if you're an adult who's still a kid inside at the time it's coming out, because I was only in my teens or whatever when that came out. I was like 18 or 19. I was technically an adult, but I'm still trying to watch not kids shows, anime, which was considered for kids. Shows that is going to stick to something to be like, this is catchy. This is like, okay. And it laid the storyline like out for you. At least the premise. The theme song just told you here's how the story goes. We find out about a treasure in the Grand Line. There's no doubt that the pirate whose eye is on it, he'll sing, I'll be king of the pirates, I'm gonna be king.
I'm king of the pirates, I'm gonna be king.
I'll be kings of the pirates, I'm gonna be king.
In the best way, dude.
His name, and then they do the whole cast roll call. His name is Luffy. That's Luffy King. Luffy gonna be king of the pirates. He's made a rumor. How did that happen? Yo ho ho. The yo ho ho. He took a bite of gum gum. Again, folks at home. I'm not saying like this is some lyrical masterpiece. I'm saying we already said it's corny, but it's catchy as fuck.
But like he did yo ho ho because it's some pirate shit.
Yeah, yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. They can't say a bottle of rum. It's for kids.
Yeah, yo ho and a bottle of rum, right? But what? But he could have just said, "How did it happen?" He took a bite of gum gum. You know, he couldn't just say yo ho ho. He took a bite. He said yo ho ho. He took a bite of. It's actually kind of clever in a dumb way, but it's just funny. How did it happen? He took a bite of gum. Nah, bitch. Nah.
This is a pirate show.
Took a bite of gum.
Yeah. Yo, we took a bite of gum. Yeah, yo. And then we like
the
rest of them. His name is Zoro. They said Zolo, but his name is Zoro. He's just like a samurai. This nigga right here. And then the Lady, the girl of the crew, Nami, she's not shy. Usopp's doing some marksman thing. Sanji's the cook. Chopper's doctoring. You know what they do? You know who they are? They roll with the crew with the theme song. It'd be hilarious with all 10 members now, though the rapper who did that song did do a YouTube video a couple like in the 2010s, where he updated the roster of the cast members. He had new lines for them.
That's dope. I know everybody was like, yo, I love it, weren't they?
A lot of people were. Now you do have some people out there in the One Piece fan base where that is a fucking an affront to society that the Four Kids version exists in that song in particular. And I'm like, fuck you. I definitely would not watch this if not for that theme song.
We appreciate the fun of the corn, but some people just see it as corny. But no, I'm saying you gotta talk about how the opening though, like it comes on with a dude talking all ominous and then just kicks off. You find there was a pirate, Gold Roger, it left some treasure, whatever.
Ironically, the Japanese opening, it's a different song. Yeah, it's a different song, but the opening part where it's like there once was a man named Gold Roger. He did so and so, so and so, and when he went to the gallows, he said this thing. Even the Japanese opening has that narrator in there. It's just a different backtrack. It's more of the music kind of already starts and it builds up as he's going until it's like da 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 da, and then it builds into the song. But the American version, like you said, it's like very
Zero to
quiet.
100.
It's very quiet, like zero, and then all of a sudden, yo, 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 yo.
Oh shit!
There was a
And imagine,
guy.
like you said, imagine being a kid, seeing that, and being like, as he, oh shit. I
Yo,
mean, like I said, what Pokemon meant to us millennials, whether you like anime or not, you watch Pokemon, and co- corny enough, but the fun in the corn, the catchiness in the corn. And for us, I wanna be like this motherfucker comes on singing his fucking heart out. I wanna be the very best.
for
Dude,
kids
like, come on
knows how
now.
to do theme songs that appeal to kids.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Like,
Yo, move, nigga.
it's like all you like it starts off slow. I heard you. Starts off
No, it's
slow.
like I didn't need to say that. That's
Oh,
all I was
that's what I
saying.
said. I heard you. Great.
Yeah.
Y'all
Uh,
move, y'all move, y'all move, y'all move, y'all move, you, and then you, and then it just kicks off. Like it like you said, it knew how to fucking do that shit. Fucking, fucking, even something that wasn't as fucking like epic still was catchy as shit. Card captors, a mystery. You the whole fucking
hey,
song.
it made me watch more than zero episodes.
What did you only watch one episode? Because you
I,
said I didn't
I watched
watch
more
it.
than one, but I'm
Um,
saying knowing what I know about Card Captor Sakura now, and that being that it's not a series for me, or Card Captors as the four kids version called it.
adventure.
Card Captors, a quest for all time.
I used to watch that
Yeah,
shit back.
yeah, it went from being a show I was legit interested in watching because of the theme song to a theme song I would watch and then change the channel. But when they had those guys coming in with the wind, rain, power, wood, sword, thunder, power, sleep, hard, captain, something, flower, attack the unexpected, not the secrets of the cloud. We're all a mystery. But when this mighty book was opened, the powers were set free. That's what they do. They just take the fucking series and be like, hey, what's the series about? This. Do you want to
How the
watch it or
fuck?
not?
And it's catchy as it. Right. They tell you the story right. My fucking grown ass, the shit's so catchy. It's been how many years, and I still remember a good amount of that fucking
Yeah,
theme
yeah.
song.
Definitely high school was the last time I saw that.
It's been how many fucking years, and we still remember that shit catchy than a motherfucker, my dude. What? Come on. And I mean, the 2000s, early 2000s was like the boom of anime anyway, thanks to Cartoon Network with Toonami and then fucking Kids WB and shit. Like between them are four kids. It was four kids. What was four kids? It wasn't Kids WB. What was it?
What was for kids? That was on Kids WB.
Oh,
Or
okay.
at least Pokemon, Card
Card
Captors, and
Captors.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Were Kids WB.
Yeah.
So
So thanks to Kids WB and then Toonami, that was like the boom of anime hitting America, right?
Fox
Because
got
then
Fox got a couple things with like Shaman King and stuff as well.
because yeah, then you had like I said, the edgier anime, which was on motherfucking Toonami and shit, which was
Mm-hmm.
got your like, it was almost like they had like the adult animes. Like,
Dragon Ball Z, but this time uncut. You see
yeah,
Piccolo pull his hand out of somebody's chest and you see blood. Uncut.
and
Uncut
then
DBZ, night times on Toonami.
and they didn't like cuss their asses off, but they might drop a shit.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah. And then of course you had like the darker shit like Yu Yu Hakusho, Oh shit,
Mhm.
Yu Yu Hakusho. Because Yu Yu Hakusho is a show that for kids, I don't care how well they tried, you ain't gonna clean that up. That shit was
And
too fucking
and
dark.
and and in all honesty, that's well, not probably as dark as Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm not gonna go that far, but they probably should have taken a similar approach to One Piece.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. Because it's not as dark. Not nearly enough people. Well, a lot of people.
Because Yu Yu Hakusho deals with the
Yeah.
spirit world and death and all kind of motherfuckers die.
Yeah, not nearly enough people die in One Piece. There is death in One Piece. There's death in every series, but one of One Piece's early flaws, especially early on, nobody dies. So whatever. Sometimes it's okay for a story to be happy, people. But yes, I will admit that it was a flaw for a long time.
I'm trying to think what else did you have back then? No, you had what else? Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop, that was Adult Swim, was pretty much specifically. Trigun as
Inuyasha,
well.
Trigun, Inuyasha.
Inuyasha, time to go to bed.
Right. Case closed. Oh yeah, I got you. Case closed. Um, um, Ranma 1/2, I think, was on for a minute.
See, I hadn't heard of Ranma 1/2 till I got to college.
There's one that I'm fucking thinking about that I can't think. Gundam Wing was on there for a minute. Like these were all shit back in fucking like back in the day, there was one Tenchi.
Tenchi Muyo and all
That was what
80
I was
other
thinking.
shows of his.
Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi, and
Yeah, the fucking harem anime. Here's Tenchi. He's surrounded by women. Go. That's the whole point of all of those shows, as far as I'm concerned, because that's all they ever talk about. These women want to sleep with Tenchi, and he's a awkward high school dude who's like, girls. But apparently, it was also good. Lupin the Third was a classic as well.
Lupin or Lupin?
It's apparently pronounced Lupin, but
Really?
it's spelled Lupin.
Okay.
It's kind of like Chopin, the musician. It's spelled Chopin.
I thought that was Chopin. Not like Chopin. I thought it was Chopin. Not even trying to just be.
Whatever.
The long pause.
The bottom line is the nigga's name is spelled with an I and it's not pronounced like an I.
True. We both agree that it's not.
It's like
chopping.
It's not chopping.
Although he was chopping up them motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, he was cooking on all them tracks. You know what I'm saying? Chop them up and put them to waste. You know what I mean? Cut the competition and you lay it to waste. You don't remember that?
No, what is that?
The corny fucking rap I did for that play that didn't get off the ground. Because my name was Butch, and I decided, and I had to do a rap.
Is that what you
said?
I
had Butcher. That was the end of it. I was like, I said it.
I remember you being in.
Then again, the character was supposed to be fair to the folks at home. I interpreted it as the dude wasn't gonna get off the ground with his raps anyway. So I came and I had to write a rap.
You had to write this? I do not remember this. You had to write. You wrote it.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't remember that.
Because you got cast as someone older than me, and I got cast as the rapping younger brother. I got cast as the rapping younger brother of your friend. Ironically,
I got cast as somebody who was older than I am now, and I was like fucking 18.
Oh my god, you were, because this is like 2010.
And I got cast as somebody older than I am. I got cast as somebody probably 10 years older than I am now. And then I'm supposed to be, my character is supposed to be kind of abusing the woman who was age appropriate, that was like my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was supposed to be roommates with a dude who was age appropriate. So I was like, the fuck my ass doing it all this shit.
Yeah, and I came in as your little brother, or as your roommate's little brother. And I was supposed to be a wannabe rapper, specifically a wannabe rapper. His name was Butch. And I decided my rap name was going to be the Butcher. I don't remember the whole thing I did, but I remember the ending of it was something along the lines of I'm the BUTCH. And I want to say I changed it to and I'm kicking down the gates, stepping onto the scene. I'm just broke down the gates, and y'all just got a taste of how I cut the competition and I lay it to waste.
That ain't bad.
Like
Oh, for real.
that was my ending. And y'all just got a taste of how I cut the competition and I lay it to waste.
Why the fuck they have you write it and not write it for you? But that's a whole other question for a whole different time because we won't get because it's like, what the fuck you have somebody who wasn't a part of writing the script and not a rapper. I wasn't a rapper back then. I was far from a rapper. So none of us in this motherfucking play were rappers. Why you have somebody not a part of the script, not a rapper, decide that they wanted to fucking say, hey, write this for us?
It's the butcher on the scene, if you know what I mean. I'm not exactly clean, but not exactly lean, but I'm fresh and I'm clean.
It's not garbage. That's not garbage. That's not garbage. I'm being for real. That's not
It's
garbage.
corny as fuck though. You gotta admit.
Not garbage.
I thought of this shit in like a night. It's pretty fucking lazy. Okay. You don't need to fucking cushion it.
Do you remember? Do you remember? Did you
The
write it
whole
down?
thing, I don't remember it, but I know I
No,
came up with it like around the day I needed to. What is the song?
what I was gonna say was, do you remember? Did you write it out or did you just memorize it? Like, okay, that's good enough. You had to write it down.
A little of both, but it
Okay.
was still like a last minute. It wasn't like how long it takes to actually write a good like rap, nor was it like some good off. Like if I was like on Sway in the morning and I couldn't think of shit, but that was my freestyle, it would be better than most of the bad freestyles I see on there.
Not
However,
if I was sway in the morning and you said that shit. I'm not exactly lean, but I'm fresh and I'm clean.
it's better than some of the clips I've seen out there. That's all I'm saying. That said, for something to be thought of and written, come on, man, put some effort in. And I'm not, and again, that's not to bash myself. I just said I'd be better than half of the terrible clips I've seen on on popular radio
And if
shows.
you're not a rapper, you're not a fucking rapper too, right? So,
Exactly.
so you're not bashing yourself by saying I have not taken the time to learn this, so I know that I am not the best.
Yeah. It
That's not
just
bad.
needed to be solid enough to be like a kid brother trying to break into the rap scene. So yeah, it'll sound a bit cheesy, but it's supposed to. Because I think they even have a comment afterwards where the big brother's like, nigga, that shit's corny. It's like, oh, okay. So it's like, well, if that's the case, then yeah, I don't care how corny it's. I want it to sound better than complete and utter gutter trash, but it don't need to sound like no fucking
Gutter
Jay-Z.
trash. I came for the last time I heard somebody say gutter trash. I want it to sound better than gutter trash. Like, me too. Me too. Please, please sound better than gutter trash. Gutter trash sound like you be up here talking about some A, B, C, D, E, F, G, Do, Re, Mi. Oh shit, I'm Pete. Like, what the fuck?
I'm about to say, don't you wish that you was me?
That you were me. Everybody, this is a terrible segue. I was going to close the show out about, 10 minutes ago or so.
Oh
And then
yeah.
you brought up this old memory, and I had to go down memory lane. My apologies. That being said, if you would like to follow me outside of said show, as we said, rap. If you want to hear some rap that is better than gutter trash, I mean, I can't necessarily say that. I mean, you can ask my dude over here, but he is my friend, so we got a little bit of bias. But either way, go ahead anywhere you stream your music. Look me up under the name Super Jazz. It's going to be spelled Superjaz. Go ahead, type in Super Jazz, and then my album, My Secret Identity. Super Jazz, My Secret Identity, because I'm not so famous yet. Also,
Check out the music video for I Tried. You can tell if it's called I Tried, right?
yeah, there's one for I Tried and one for All That Remains.
Well, yeah, but I'm just suggesting a song for you to go
Yeah,
see.
yeah, check out I Tried. Yeah, yeah. Well, you said you really like I Tried. I think partially why you like I Tried
It's
too.
because I know both people
I
involved
was
in the
yeah.
song.
Not just because you may or may not like the music, but because you know us, right?
I also like the chorus
Well,
to
oh,
mixed with the rapping as well.
my,
But I'm
my
just
girl,
saying it's
my
more
girl. No,
catchy.
no, no, no. I wasn't even talking. I'm just saying my girl Camille. She held that chorus down. But that's why I asked her to sing because she could sing her fucking ass off. what's his name? Oh, also, if you'd like to follow me, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Go ahead and find the handle, find and type in the handle Forever Super Jazz. The word forever spelled correctly. That's all one word. Also, last year, started a production company, a theatrical company producing plays. So if you would like to stay up to date with any and everything that I am doing with said production company, go ahead on Facebook and give the page a like to Aquarian Rising Productions. That is Aquarian, not Aquarius. Also on Instagram, you can find that page under official Aquarian Rising. If you, for whatever reason, happen to be in the St. Louis area in the next few weeks, actually, then you can go ahead and find everything you need to know about. We will be doing Top Dog Underdog by Susan Laurie Parks. Amazing fucking play by a beautiful soul of a woman. I really fucking mean that. So if you have the opportunity to see the show, then hopefully you do. But either way, go ahead and like those pages. And I was showing this to my fucking director and my co-star the other day. This is how you know your boy been reading and looking through this guy. This when you know a motherfucker been looking through his script. Hold on, real quick. Just look at the color.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been fucking going through this motherfucker. Anyway, all that being said, man, where can they find you?
Well, obviously, you can find me here on YouTube on Tuesdays. I got a show called This Guy Hasn't Seen, doing a good friend of mine, good friend of the show, Bill Smith.
Shout out to Bill.
Shout outs to Bill indeed. This week, I believe we are doing The Condemned with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Now, which one of y'all suggested that? Because that's hard to call out of who would have suggested it.
Who do you think suggested it then?
Who I think suggested it?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that Bill suggested it simply because I would have said you did, but I think you threw me for a loop. So I'm gonna say Bill suggested it.
Ha! I suggested it. Yes.
I should have gone my first mind.
Yes, it was me.
It was me all along.
It's me, Austin.
It was me all along. Oh, son of a bitch, right?
However, fun fact about it, it probably should have been the other way around because I hadn't seen it. We go over and doing that. I thought I had seen it because I really wanted to, but when watching it, I realized I hadn't seen it. Bill, while watching it, realized he had seen it, so it still worked out. He forgot he saw it. It's hilarious.
If y'all don't get y'all fucking
no, it still works
how
out.
My own show worked looking.
What are you talking about? It still works out. One
But
guy saw it, one guy hadn't. It's just not the guy who suggested it.
I've seen it. I haven't. I forgot I saw it. I forgot I didn't. What are we doing here?
Well, I mean, it's Stone Cold in a battle royale-esque movie. You assume that you want to see that.
It's one of the few movies he's done too.
Yeah. Anyway, we also Wednesdays, we still got this show, Whatever We Want podcast. You can also find on Saturdays, got a show with a good friend of mine, good friend Bill Smith as well. I already mentioned him. I got a show with Bill called You Don't Watch Sports.
Dope show.
Yeah, 2 guys, 3 topics. Help you sprinkle a little information into your casual sports conversation to be a guiding light through the sea of casual sports talk. Even had a recent episode with the aforementioned Big Bro Ibn on it as a guest. Indeed. And speaking of Big Bro Ibn, he is also a guest on our show on Mondays called Mocked Draft.
Dope show.
Draft various things. I believe Big Bro Ibn and I drafted serial killer characters to fight each other to the death.
Serial characters to fight each other to the death?
Yes.
So it's not like casting them into like drafting them for a team, or like we cast the X-Men into like a Lion King play. You're just who do we
match
want?
Match 1, who do you want? Who do you want? And okay, match 2, I got this guy out of these characters. That you could probably guess one of the characters I picked.
I bet he was great.
You're damn right he was. Tony the fucking Tiger. Let's go. That's it. I also have a Twitter and Twitch at GioTavi. That is GIOTAVI. Come on in. Stop on by.
I will say this real quick. I would have one of the characters I would have drafted if I was on the episode would have been the Crazy Man with Honeycomb, just because that nigga's name is the Crazy Man, so he would have killed some.
One, I never knew his name was the Crazy Man. Two,
I believe his name is literally just because the dude is like, man, I believe his name was just the Crazy Man.
Two, he wasn't on the list. There's another cereal mascot. I don't know if I was fortunate enough to get him, but I definitely would have picked him if I could.
Well, what we were talking about, where you were saying, let's not make this another 17 minutes after episode.
Yeah, we can always talk about that on the next week's one.
That
gives you time to watch it.
I'm just saying we're already there. I'm about to close it. I'm saying we're already there. I was really gonna close it out. Then you started reminiscing about that shit. I said,
you asked me a question about the episode
because I had to hear. I said you had to do a red white order. I remember this fucking random shit. Anyway, all that being said, everybody, we hope that we were able to bring some levity into your life. I really mean it when I say be nice to yourself, everybody. All that said as well, fuck are we gonna talk about next time? I said that shit backwards. What are we gonna talk about next time?
Serial killers of each other and whatever we want. It's gonna be great.
Be nice to yourself, everybody.
Said that. Adiosness.
I did say it.